About the concept of adaptive management of cybercriminal maladaptive organizations in the offing the imperil the nation. In that we need to discuss about the abstract. The functioning of some of the university level institutions in the country turns maladaptive occasionally owing to mismanagement of academics, adding fuel to the fire. An undesirable nexus between the academicians and the policies is getting built. As the result, the classical academic environment gets badly affected. Even there were tribal errors targeted by management for muttering lopsided academics. The need of the hour is to enlighten the public, particularly the students, to improve the redacted and the eliminate the elements in the organizational setting that are violated of the constitution. For instance, fake underground and cyber criminal government. A case study of two organizational setting relative to the RTI Act by shying away from the responsibilities of giving information as per Act and pointing fingers to each other is presented. By such an approach, they tend to turn the organizations maladaptive. We have devised a website based approach for guidance and counseling to the students and the staff in that the scenario to recover from the maladaptive conditions. The details of the strategy are represented in this paper in this video. In that we need to discuss about the concept. First we need to discuss about the introduction. A case study of multiple cybercrimes are presented in the sub-inspector Mr. Raju was taken on chief examination. He communicated that basing on these documents I have investigated with the JN2 authorities, upon which the name of accused was elected as responsible person for this. His submission in page mentioned that SI marked the accused I based on the investigation with the JN2 authorities. However, the details of the investigated JN2 authorities were not revealed in the examination. Further, the details of the interactions between the JN2 authorities and the cyber police authorities were not recorded. Therefore, the judgment of acquittal of accused I was on fatal grounds. Further, the cyber police mentioned in the charge sheet that separate charge sheet would be filed with respect to accused 2 who was absconding. However, the authorities did not file separate charge sheet but ended the cases reported in the response to the RTA application submitted to the cyber police had to the police not closed the case, but they had submitted the separate charge sheet and they produced accused 2 in the court of law at Miyapur. A necessity might have arisen of a retrial of the accused I. And the second point is we need to discuss about the background. In this concept we need to, our earlier work highlighted a case study of multiple cyber crimes such as sedition and violation of State Emblem of India, Prevention of Improper Use Act 2005. The cybercrime website indicated nearly 2000 registrations, which is a surprisingly large figure for a cybercriminal website. The scenario gave us rise to cyber forensic research and investigation. The initial complaint in the police station did not get registration upon continuous pursuit through RTA approach, etc. Finally, a FIR was filed and a fresh complaint but in vain. The charge sheet was filed. Prosecution of proceedings in case of accused I was over. As a result, accused I was acquitted. With this background in view, the present research has been taken up. Third point is literature survey. The organization JNDA was affiliated to the Online Cheating Government of Telangana and Online Seditious Government of Telangana. It has been operational in JNDA Hyderabad University during 2011 to 14. Policing and judiciary are not just sufficient in handling cybercrime. Cybercrime counseling and guidance is crucial in generating the public opinion. National integration and academic development to remedy the faults in handling the cyber crimes by organizational means such as police department by be the cause, race or religious or region, etc. In the right direction, organized activities are undertaken only in a way that is not a prejudicial to the national interest such as MIT, national solidarity, national integration and not prejudicial national sovereignty, etc. in the right direction. Organized activities undertaken only in a way that is not prejudicial to the national interest, such as national amity, national solidarity, national integrity, etc. Generation and analysis and right orientation of the same by adoption web-based approach. A web crawler tool for the internet achieving of website. The snapshots captured evidence of the cause of cheating and seditious government of Telangana to which Jaintis claims belongings. Fourth point is motivation. In the charge sheet for case study was detailed. The conditions for the RTA application in and arose because of the delay in the proceedings of the case. Subsequent to the RTA application date, the charge sheet was filed on 23/12/14. The cybercrime registered ignored the sedition angle of the crime. It was registered only much time after an earlier similar complaint was ignored for registration. The cybercrime gives the impression that the motto of the culprit organization is either religious separation or national separation. With nearly 2000 registrations involving many staff and students of the university, gazed up against law and order was evident from the culprit website. The students and the university cybercriminal activity was rampant in JNTH. The details of the registrations were not transparent to the public. Was also known as whether the foreign students were involved in the registrations and whether they have any role play in the overall issue. The situation gives scope for doubts, and the university authorities and the police worked closely to sidetrack the cybercrime issue. Thus, conditions arose favorably to frame the 48 questions in figures. Analysis. Fifth point is analysis of organizational efficacy. The response sheet by the police to the response sheet gives the information related to the first questions, and it indicated the remaining questions were related to the JNTH. As shown in the police department sent the document to the PIO JNTH, that is registered JNTH, for responding with respect to information related to the questions, but upon approaching the authority it was all responding to in vain. Thus we did not get the response from either organization, cyber police, JNTH authorities. This leads to peculiar situation wherein each organization authority pointed at the other but not avail. Subsequent to the court hearing, some case information was elicited from the police department with respect to case status. The information furnished by the police department is indicated that after the trial the case ended in acquittal. What interests now is the use of police complaint against cybercrime. How is a teacher research on cybercrime or security or cyber forensics to deal with a situation wherein the cyber crime resolution approach upon investigation by the police, it is watered down to the case of a null and void. Particularly this case pertains to cybercrime that affected national consciences, solidarity and integrity feelings in general masses. This does not pertain to any single individual. They are lost into the nation and not any individual. Owing to 2000 registration, the cybercriminal activity is considered rampant. The academic environment become perverted and maladaptive. The public authorities enjoying their positions of authority and did not give any orders of prohibition against the culprit organization or the culprit website. The last point is conclusion about this concept is our work comprises of case study paper presentation with regard to how one can track the cybercrime and cyber laws. The cybercriminal organization JNDH is considered in this regard. Police registered as FIR 2 accused persons were mentioned in the charge sheet. Accused A1 was acquitted because evidence produced by the police was against police. The police mentioned in the charge sheet that A2 was absconded and the supplementary charge sheet would be filed. But after the acquittal of A1, the charge sheet in respect of A2 was not filed. But the case was ended as reported by the inspector of police. This shows that police were reluctant to convict the culprit. This is a case of cybercrime scenario in which cybercrime is registered, but no criminals were fixed. give the situation. It is clear that the academic environment in JNTH is clubbed with massive cybercrime. The experience reported indicates that there is no use of mere cybercrime or cybersecurity subject, and those mere studies of such subjects do not contribute to the values in academic life of students, and people should be made upon the sensitive to not abuse constitutional provision and laws by including the national spirits in them, as well as respect fundamental values as such as respect for the nation and for the laws of the land. Remedial ICT approach should be adopted. Towards this goal, we have used website as means for basic awareness generation with regard to values, national laws, constitution, and personality development. The response from the academic stakeholders to our web-based guidance and counseling is satisfying and encouraging and marked as smart and innovative by the feedback. The government should take recognizing of the maladaptive makeup of the JNT in recording of the reported cybercriminal for Russell. This is the concept of adaptive management of cybercriminal maladaptive organizations in the offing that the imperial nation. Thank you everyone.